are smiling, aren't we?
Hi, welcome to Moving Forward with Gayle Suzanne. I am so happy that you are joining us today. Today we're going to talk about friendships, and I have brought with me 3 of my closest friends. And this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so I hope I don't regret it after this next hour is over. But I'd like to introduce you to everyone. And to my left, we have Lisa. Say hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Jan.
Hello.
And Cappy.
Hi.
Cappy is my longest friend. Cappy and I met when I was 12 years old and she was 13 years old. So we've been friends for 30-something years, I think, right? 20-something years. And Jan was my roommate in college, and she got powder all over the floor for 4 years in our dorm room. And then Lisa is just a doll,
Lisa.
just a doll. And we have an audience today for the first time ever on Moving Forward with Gayle Suzanne. We have our audience members. We have my daughter Becca, our other friend Irene, and our other friend Melon, otherwise known as Cantaloupe. So today I want to talk, this is a show about pressing forward and getting through difficult times in life, getting through fun times in life, and friendships are such a big part of that, a huge part of that. You know, we have our relationships with our boyfriends, our girlfriends, we have our family, but friends it's just a different dynamic. And there's a core of 8 of us that have been friends for 35 years plus. And I wanted to have them on here today to, number 1, embarrass them, and number 2, no, only kidding. Oh, they're being quiet. They're never quiet.
We're not going
They're
to
never
be.
quiet.
Stop at
There are so many topics that we can't talk about. So if you see this during the show, that means that's taboo. We can't talk about it. So you'll probably be seeing that a lot during the show. But I just want to talk about friendships and why we value friendships, what it means to have like that steady confidence in your friend, and that's that camaraderie, that trust, that loyalty, that rock.
The support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Because you run the gamut.
Right.
So Lisa, talk about friendships.
With you?
With anybody.
With my 7 friends. And I think you have known Cappy longer than 20 years. If we've been together 35, you knew Cappy when you were...
Let's not do the math.
We won't do the math. All right. I don't know. I just don't think I could get through, I think, a lot of my life, a lot of my problems, issues I've had without you. And then when the good times are here, which is usually more often than the bad times, we have a great time. Mm-hmm. And you guys are always there for me.
Yeah.
Always, always, always. And I don't know what I'd do without you. I really don't. I really don't. And it's a different kind of thing. You have your husband. Friendships are completely different than having a husband. It's just a different dynamic. That's it. I love my husband.
Yes, we all love our significant others and husbands.
Yeah.
But it is a different dynamic.
Sure.
And, you know, I try to tell my daughter when she's in relationships with boyfriends or whatever, always maintain your friendships.
Absolutely.
No matter what.
Always.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, in my life, men have come and gone, and, you know, they come and go, but friends are constant.
Right.
And it's so important to keep that friendship going, even though sometimes, oh, we live far apart, or, oh, you know, they're busy, they're at a different place in their life. And I think we all can agree that we've all been in different places.
Absolutely.
You know, anybody want to jump on that one?
Well, I just feel when you were just talking about there's actually 8 of us that are core, it's almost an understanding that we all have with each other. When the chips are down for one of us, the other 7 the circles, we circle around that person. We're just there. Everything else gets dropped. And the support that we give each other for the past 35 years is so unique and so beautiful, and we're very, very lucky and very blessed to have that. Yeah, I know.
You're so serious.
Very lucky. Very lucky.
She's not really that serious. So that was good.
It's
Kat,
very
what about you?
non-judgmental. Everyone, we just support without judging. And
I judge.
Well,
I don't know.
She judges.
No, you're right. We are.
But none of them will sleep with me, so I don't know when we go away on little girls' weekends.
We won't get into the spooning.
Yeah,
you don't want us. I think that's off topic.
Here's the hands. That's because I snore.
That's one of the reasons. There are other reasons. There are some other ones we will not mention.
Yes.
I can't tell you guys like how, I mean, like going over the years, like when we were in our 20s, you know, most of us weren't married, and then we got married in our later 20s, and then some of us got divorced in our 30s, or things happened that we were single, and then in our 40s we had kids, teenage kids, and then our 50s, now that's where we are now. So it's, you know, we've run the gamut for sure of all the emotions. And
Absolutely.
And I think in every decade, every time we go out, there's usually a woman sitting at another table, bored out of her mind with whoever she's with, and saying, "Can we come over and sit with you? Because you guys are so much fun."
I think too, it's come full circle at this point. We met when we were what? I was 17, I think. You guys are 18. I'm the youngest out of all of us.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm the youngest out of all of us.
All right. So I was 17.
Right, guys?
You were 17. But now we're 50.
Something.
Two something. But I think
Do we have to do the math?
We don't have to do the math. Going through all these years together and every ups and downs and all in betweens, and now all of a sudden the kids are grown. And it's like I'm seeing you more often. I'm seeing Irene and Melon and all of you so much more
dynamics.
often.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like all of
easier
a sudden I don't have to be home.
Yeah.
You know, it's 8 o'clock to put them to bed, or the freedom is incredible once you get it back again, which is really awesome. Can be very dangerous.
And what's cool too, is your daughter went to prom with your son.
Yes.
Which was so cool.
That was
the generation.
All the
getting
kids,
together.
yeah, they all get along.
Last
and-
spring, yes. Lauren was looking for a prom date, and Matt said, "I'll go with Lauren," and we drove up a couple of hours, and that
much
was
fun.
And they had a great time.
They
did have a good
Yeah,
time.
we had a great time.
We had a better time.
We did.
That's what's important.
We had a better time.
And then what about Colleen?
No, Colleen, Cappy's daughter, graduated last month, and my son and his friend saw Cappy's daughter's picture on the graduation invitation and said, "Who's that?" I said, "That's kind of your cousin. Do you want to go to the graduation party?" And they were like, yeah. They didn't make it, unfortunately.
They didn't make it.
And that's another thing. Our kids, I think, are friends. I mean, I think they can count on one another. They don't socialize unless probably with us, but they know they're out there, you know, for each other. If they
So
need to
let's
be.
talk a little bit about when, like during the course of our lives, when someone is pregnant with their second kid and another one's not married yet and going out all the time. And how did we come together? Like how did we make it work so that we don't have anything in common really at the point, because one of them's changing diapers and the other one's going out till 3 a.m. partying. Like how do you think you make it stay? Because I think that's where a lot of people say, well, we don't have the same interests anymore, and you know, you can't be my friend because, and I've seen
Well,
this.
you just grow apart.
You
I think
grow
it's-
apart.
you
So
just grow
how
apart.
do you maintain that
I think we all
connectedness?
have had such a bond. We've gone through so many important things in our lives and we've been there for each other. So I think even when life changes and we're at different places in our life, when we get together, it brings us back to that ground. It brings us back kind of to ground zero. It centers us. So when everything else is kind of chaotic, it's very centering when we get together, I find.
I also think you, Gayle, have been an integral part to that.
A what?
She's an English teacher.
Integral part. But I really do give you credit. I think you've been the glue that has held us all together. I sometimes think if you were not the nucleus, which that's what I think of you, the nucleus. The amoeba. No science, no math. I think she's a mitochondria. I did that
I'm
with my
the
friend,
amoeba.
my science,
All right.
my science teacher friends. I just think you've never let it go. You've never
Do you
let it go.
remember when you went to babysit for Janice after she had the twins?
Yes.
How relaxing that was.
Oh my God. Tell us about it, Cap.
I was there too, wasn't I? Or was that a different
the
time?
funniest story
Oh, it
was
a group of us.
Jan, who I lived with for 4 years in college. She had her perfect family. She had a little doggy, and she had a little girl and a little boy, and she was done. And then she called me up, and I was on the phone with somebody, and this was like 20 years ago, where you had that emergency breakthrough. So I'm on the phone. It was like, emergency breakthrough call from Janice. I'm like, oh my God, something happened. I knew she was pregnant with her third, which, you know, and she goes, oh my God, I'm having twins. And then I just laughed.
Very supportive friend.
And then you called me and laughed.
Oh
You
my
couldn't even get it out.
And she said, I'm so glad it's not me.
Yep, that was wonderful.
So then the wonderful friends that we are, after she had the twins, she had a 6-year-old daughter, 3-year-old son, and 4 of us decided that we would go over and spend the night and take care of the twins. So 2 of us had one twin baby, and 2 of us had the other twin baby with the fingernail polish. I think Melon and I had the one with the fingernail polish.
Irene,
and
that was how we
and
pulled them
Lisa and
apart.
Irene had the other baby, and the one we had was the crabby baby with the, I don't know which one it was. Sorry, Lauren Lindsay,
Didn't
but
some of us leave and go out drinking?
that was you.
I did not.
You went for my ties that night, and then you were like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. After
Oh
you
my
went out.
God, that's right. Was that the same night though? I guess it was.
It was the day after. You didn't know you were
That was-
pregnant.
no,
'cause
I wasn't,
We
yes.
didn't sleep at all, and the 4 of us were spooning on the bed, on the pull-out sofa. Whose baby is that? I don't know. And then we get to sleep at like 5:30 in the morning, and then I feel this. And I open my eyes, and it's a 6-year-old. I'm hungry.
They had decided to give us a night off, you know, being exhausted parents of 4 children. So that was the story. We were sleeping, and they decided to feed the kids and help out. They didn't anticipate once the twins went to sleep that the other 2 would be waking up.
And you still have to do
That
stuff.
might be why Gayle only has one child.
Just one.
right.
Just one.
That's a
And
dead
Kathy
giveaway.
has 3.
I do.
3 daughters.
I do, yeah.
All 2 years apart.
2 years apart, yep.
And then Lisa has 1 son. And I guess I was the cause of that,
Gayle
too.
was the
I
cause
don't
of
know
that?
how I was the cause of that.
Well,
but-
I was, I think, the last one. No, Maura was, but to have a child. But I didn't really think I was going to be a mom. I just was very happy, content being married. But we bought the house, 3 bedrooms. I started getting like, you know, it might be not a bad idea. And then Gayle would call. I felt like it was every other day. When are you having a baby? When are you having a baby? I wouldn't even pick up the phone. When are you having a baby? And I think that peer pressure, I think that had
to shut
something to
me
do
up.
with it. To shut you up, which I'm so glad I did.
Now, do you remember the time that you and Irene, who's in the studio audience, babysat my daughter Becca when she was
Yes.
about a year and a half?
Ah,
and I had to go to a shower, and it was 2 hours long. And I said, you guys, you know, she was talking at the time, so I don't know, she
And
must have
now
been
you
about
have
a year and a half.
to also clarify, this was one of the first children out of all of us. We didn't have any experience.
Right.
No
but-
baby experience. Well, maybe Irene did. I had nothing.
Right. Yeah, Irene had
I
experience.
went in cold turkey.
So I'm like, I'll be back in 2 hours, guys. Thanks so much. So they took her to Friendly's, and it was when she was talking. So, because I remember somebody saying, I think it was Irene, like, she didn't stop talking the whole time.
Yeah, she was a blabbermouth.
So I come home 2 hours later. These 2 are on the couch, like, out like a light, and Becca's in her crib.
I think we went out the night before. That
I
could have been
think
the
that's
problem.
how
We were still single then.
Yeah.
We were still single. We were not married, and we must have gone out the night before. That's the only, we never babysat again after that.
But Melon babysat for me
Melon
all
was
the
good.
time, which
Melon
was
was very
awesome.
good.
You're a good
Awesome,
friend,
awesome.
Mel.
Auntie
Good
Mel.
friend, Melon.
Auntie Melon.
Melon will come on our next show. We'll
Do
get
you
her
remember the
on.
time, the time I went shopping with you and Becca when she was 2?
Oh,
Gayle's like, she's never going to have kids after this.
what did she do? I can't
She
remember.
had a two-year-old temper tantrum, and she was throwing herself all over the floor at Kmart.
Was that Becca? Or
Yeah, that would be
Yes.
Becca.
Oh,
The strong-willed. And that was before you had kids.
No, that was way before I
I
had
think
kids.
you said, I'm never going to have another one looking at her. But it was cool. We made it work. We made it work. Even when we were all different areas and all different phases of life. And I think that's such an important message to share because this history that you have with people, they become family. And I can only speak for myself, but I know for me, when I grew up, when I was younger, I didn't have friends. And I was just, so my gratitude goes beyond what I can even express. Because when I got people that were good in my life, I'm not gonna let you go, like forever. You know,
you won't
I
let
always
go.
tell people that, you know, I'm very selective now on who enters my life, but if they do, and it sounds like snobby, but it's not really. When I find a good one, I'm not gonna let them go. because there aren't that many loyal, and we are just so fortunate to have, you know, all of us together. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt that if I called any of you at 4 in the morning, or if you called me and you said, I need you, we'd be there.
Yes.
Not even a question.
And we've had personal experiences with that too. You know, I remember Kelly showing up at my door one morning after something tragic had happened, and I just opened up the door, and there she was. It was about 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning. She knew I had been up all night, and Jan, go to bed. I'm here. Just do what you need to do.
Kelly's so good.
Yeah. So I mean, I think we definitely have each other's back. There's a lot of comfort in that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And we're good for a laugh.
Yes.
If anything. I remember at my mother's funeral, oh my God, it was, a few of us had lost.
You're not going to tell the story about me and the phone and not picking.
Oh my God, Lisa didn't even pick up the phone when I called like 4 times. I wanted to tell her my mother
was
passed
watching a
away.
movie.
She was watching
was
a
a good
Lifetime movie.
I will never forgive myself
She's
for that.
never going to not answer the phone again. So one thing, we don't allow each other to get away with anything. Is that true? Or I don't anyway.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Like we call each other on our
right,
crowd.
right,
I mean, there's
absolutely.
no,
There's a lot of honesty,
there's
yeah.
no like, oh,
You know
tippy
where you
toe
stand.
or whatever.
Oh,
you know,
no,
if I don't like something, I mean, we've had some battles.
That's the 35-year friendship.
Yeah, but we've had some
And
battles.
we completely respect each other because of it. Yeah,
Remember
I
that battle
respected
down the
you too.
Cape? We were screaming, and Maura
Yes.
was crying, and then
Yes.
this, and they're like, I can't take it. It was after a few drinks, but we're like screaming at each other about, I don't know what it was about, something about raising kids or whatever, and we had a differing opinion.
Very different opinion.
And
Oh, yeah.
oh my God, we were screaming.
That was just a few years
And then
ago.
we would sleep
I remember that.
sleep in the sink. Did you go upstairs crying too?
No.
But then, you know, 5 minutes later, we
Takes
were,
more
we
than
were
that.
Oh
best, you
yeah,
know, we
we're
were
like, all right, I
fine.
gotta go to bed. All right,
Yeah,
good night.
I
Good night.
think even when we were college roommates, though, we knew enough to, you were very good about telling me, Jan, I need my space. If I would come in and, you know, kind of off the wall with something, we knew if you said, Jan, I need my space, or if I said, I need my space, we respected that time to kind of process what was going on and then be able to address it at a better time.
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of just piggyback off of when you were saying how we make each other laugh even in difficult times. And I was thinking about when Mary Ellen's father had passed away, and we were in the church, and I had my hair in a French twist and a little claw in the back, one of those little comb things. And Gayle is sitting next to me, and it's very, very sad, and we're all very solemn. And the 8 of us have the whole row. We always show that unified front. And Gayle, out of nowhere, as the priest is talking, comes, she reaches, she's rubbing my back, and the next thing you know, clip! And it just took
too
everything I could
serious a
not to laugh. So but we definitely lighten up those moments.
Well, tell after what
with a
happened
chuckle.
when Lisa and I were in the same car and she couldn't find the gravesite.
Oh, and poor Mary Ellen.
We were
Remember
late.
We were very late.
Sorry, Melon.
And then Mary Ellen says that the cars are coming
Oh,
down, and they're all
so
standing
embarrassed.
around. You know, the priest is talking, and all of a sudden, all the cars come bombing into the cemetery. And poor Mary Ellen, oh yes, they're with me.
There they are.
No, Melanie had one of these. She's sitting there like, and then she sees us, and you see one of these, like, they're mine. That was so embarrassing.
She didn't quit us then. She never will.
She's not going to quit us. She's not going to quit us. So, what do you guys want to talk about friendship? What things?
I just love you, Gayle, and I'm here for you, okay?
I can't believe
You
it's
don't want me to tell bad stories. That's why.
no bad stories. I can't believe it's been 35 years.
There we
Because
go
it
with the
feels
math
like
again.
yesterday when I just met Gayle. I remember so well. Irene
How did you meet
on the
us?
court, on the tennis court.
Oh,
I
you
called her
mean
Eileen
Eileen?
for 2 falls, and then I met Gayle. I had seen her in one of my in our history class, and we were in the same dorm, and we were leaving and to go to class. And I said, oh, to myself, there's that girl that is in my history class. So I said, hey, hi, you're in my history class. And she just went, yeah. And then turned her head and kept walking. And I was like, I never in a million years would I ever think I would end up being, you know, the best of friends for life, because she just seemed so standoff. You seemed so standoffish. You must have had something on your mind that day. I don't know what.
I don't know. It was
You don't even
college.
remember it.
I don't even remember.
No.
Are you sure it was
I'm
me?
positive it was you.
I
And I
don't
was
think it
like,
was me.
wow.
I don't
Wow.
remember that.
So, and then after that, we were on the same dorm, and I used to go and watch you cut the Kaisha's hair. Those were the 2 cute
Gayle thought that she
twins
was a
that,
hairdresser in college.
I did. I
Yes.
totally lied to get my
Tell the
$3
story
allowance.
about when one of the Kaisha twins came walking down the hallway because, and all the girls were swooning.
So we were freshmen in college, in a Catholic college, a small college, and there were 2 seniors that were really, really hot, and then one other guy that was really cute, and Lisa ended up dating him. Remember? Kaiser's friend?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So anyway, I was at a party because our roommate Cindy, hi Cindy, our roommate Cindy, her boyfriend knew the football players. So that's the only way we could get into a senior party. And one of the twins came up to me and he was like walking and I'm thinking, oh, does he want me to fill the potato chip bowl? Does he want me to get him a beer? Fill the toilet paper? I don't know. And he says, oh, I hear that you cut hair. And I'm like,
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't really. She pretended to cut
I
hair.
pretended, but I guess the
You
word
did
was
a pretty. You looked like you know what you were doing.
I
Yeah.
had no idea what I was doing. I had a regular too. Some guy came. He was a sophomore.
You did. You
Come
had
down like
regular
every 6
customers.
weeks.
You had regular customers come in. Yeah.
So then
Come over.
the Kaiser, he's like, can I come over at noon tomorrow? And I'm like, okay, I'm in Desatel 223 or whatever we were in. And then we had an L-shaped hallway. And he comes down, our room was down here, and he's walking down the hallway, like
Now, remember, it was
strutting
all
like
girls.
a
It
runway
was a-
model. And all the girls came out of their rooms like, what's he doing up here? What's he
But they weren't like that. They were so down to earth. They weren't.
Well,
No, but it was just
you know,
funny.
yeah,
who was he here to see?
Yeah,
And all of a
very-
sudden, there he is to see
we're all
Gayle.
freshman girl. We're on a freshman restricted floor, and here comes Mr.
Right, I
like,
forgot
Brad
the
Pitt coming
restricted.
down the.
Restricted flow, that's something we can talk about, how nothing's restricted nowadays with our kids.
right. No.
Where we grew up
Co-ed.
with, we had to check in a mail and they had to leave by a certain time, I think. I forget exactly what the rules were. But now,
That
oh
prevented
my
you guys
goodness.
from nothing.
I said again, what?
That's true.
What? I didn't hear
She said that prevented us from nothing, the rules. There were always ways to sneak
You're
around.
right, but it was just a different time, and I see this, you know, the co-ed dorms that my son is in. It's a girl, a guy. And they're
They
Do
all
they have
use the
co-ed
bathrooms?
bathrooms?
Co-ed bathrooms.
So you have a boy and a girl next door in the bathroom?
Not for my
my
son.
daughter's
I think no,
college,
yeah,
yeah.
they
Like
have.
that.
Co-ed
But I
bathrooms.
remember just it was all girls, and I don't think I would have enjoyed having any guys there for getting ready. You know what I mean? It was nice just to have the girls. I think.
And how often did we go home from college?
I never. The
like,
first
like
weekend.
Columbus Day, then Thanksgiving, and then not again till Easter. And now it's like they're texting us all the time,
All the
calling
time,
us.
yeah.
We have to wait for the payphone.
See, I don't.
Right.
I don't have
Yeah.
that with my son. I don't get that at all. He doesn't call. He doesn't.
a
I
boy.
mean,
I
we
think that's a
we have
boy.
to get in
that
touch
tells
with
you
him.
a lot about your
No, he
relationship.
dropped off the face of the earth when.
I think that's boys.
Yeah, well,
Because
you-
my
what
son,
about
too.
Joey? Yeah,
no,
I think
never.
girls are
Once in a
different.
while, and then
Yeah,
I'm like,
we
what
would
do you
call.
need?
Remember us?
What's wrong?
You need money? Okay, that would be. But just a different time, I think.
It
you
was
know?
a different time. But our relationships have changed so much from the time we were 17 to
Right.
now.
Right. Yeah.
The priorities that were so important back then, and the biggest thing on your mind was where were we going for Thirsty Thursday, and right
Thursday.
now we're looking
Happy
at
hour.
Do they have a Thursday at Tammany Hall?
I don't even
think it
remember
was,
we had a Thirsty
yeah.
Thursday.
It was just Tammany Hall on Thursdays, quarter drafts, right?
I think we called
I
it.
remember I went to Tammany Hall with a roll of nickels, and I was wasted.
Gayle.
Before you got there, you were.
No,
but
with
it's
her
like-
roll of nickels.
I think it was like
after.
30
Oh,
cents.
right.
It was 30 cents a beer or whatever.
quarter.
So
Quarter
how
cup.
many beers can you have with a roll of
two
quarters
It was a
for
quarter
30 cents?
for a little plastic cup
so
of beer.
that's even better.
Yeah.
So then how many beers can you have? Like
A
7 or
lot.
8?
A lot.
4 beers.
Thank you, Melon.
No,
And I
that
think-
would be $1. There's $2 in a roll of nickels. So then
Let's
I
not
could
do
have
the
8.
math. Let's not do the math.
not do the
I
math.
think too, it just talking about us and friendships. You look at our kids nowadays and how we were so footloose and fancy free, and how I know my son. He tells me how responsible he is being in a fraternity. That they always have the designated driver. They seem to be very, very careful with all of that.
The world has changed dramatically since.
And we know what it's like too. You know, I mean, how many times did we back when we were kids? We didn't really.
Oh, boy.
Oh, what about
Yeah.
your car, Kat?
I don't
Can
think
you
we
tell a
should-
story about your car when it got stolen that one time?
Oh, we were so young. We were so young, Gayle didn't even have her license.
Cappy's older than me, my wise older friend.
And we were at a party, and we were walking back down. Me and somebody are walking back down from the party. And I said, oh, I thought I parked my car over there. And this person said, well, where's your car? And I said, oh, that's it going down the street. Someone had stolen my
It
car.
wasn't me. It was our other friend.
And
Nice
they threw
Bonnie.
me. It was my mother. It was
Shout out to Bonnie.
It was my mother's station wagon, and they
Of course it
decided
was.
that I was too drunk to drive, which I wasn't, and they threw me in the back of the station wagon, and they proceeded to drive home.
We used to have so much fun at Cap's house when we were young because her mother was pretty lenient. Can I tell the which one story? Which hand?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh my God! Because Cap's mother was lenient to say the least, and I remember she had a party at her house, and I'm in the front yard, and I have a cigarette in one hand, and I got a beer in the other, and Cappy's mother comes out and says, "Put that down," and I look, and I'm like, "Well, which one?"
Of course, she was about 14 at the
No,
time.
I was a little older than that.
12 and a half.
I was, yeah, maybe 15.
She
Oh
was
my
driving then.
But we used to go over to Cap's house. It was just so much fun. And we used to take her twin mattresses and put one after the other. And we used to slide down the mat. We were like 16 years old. And that was like our highlight of our
Yep.
life, to go sliding down the mattresses
stairs.
down the
We
We,
down
Jan and I were
stairs.
on dates while you guys were
Yeah,
sliding.
probably.
We were dating.
Yeah. Probably. We were so innocent, me and Gail.
Yeah. I think it would be remiss if we didn't talk about our Cape Cod times.
Oh my goodness.
All over the-
Well,
since-
you know what? Maybe in our next segment,
Oh, okay.
because we're going to go into part 2
Oh,
of
okay.
our little discussion here.
Yes, because that was 35 years in the making.
Of the Cape, yeah.
on the
All
in
our
the making.
memories. We
All
know
our
a lot,
memories,
yeah.
some we can't remember. Most we
care not
can't
to.
remember. So I think this is a good place for us to wrap up for today, but we have part 2 coming up. So stay tuned. And with that, we will wrap up and we'll see you next time for part 2 and more stories about friendships in the Cape. All right. See you later. Bye-bye.